Hello students, let us continue lesson number 8 and the topic is non-religious literature. Literary text whose content is other than religious are called non-religious literature. They mostly include poem, dramas, grammar text and smritis. Smritis are Hindu law text. They include Manusmriti, Yagnavalkya Smriti and Narad Smriti. Kautilya's Arthashastra is also law text. A large number of plays and poems were written in ancient India. These includes great poets like Mahakavi Vyas, Kalidas, Sudrak, Bharvi, etc. Among such important epics, Abhigyan Sakuntalam, Raghuvansham, Meghdootam, Kirat Arjunam, Savna Vas Dattam, and Mricha Katikam were the important epics and plays. In South India, a special literature called Sangam literature was composed. It was composed in first 3 centuries. After 1600, folk poets composed heroic poems in 3 Sangams in Madurai. In this literature, Shilpa Dikaram, Mani Mekhalai are very important. Best grammar text in Sanskrit is Panini's Ashtadhyay, which was composed in the 5th century BC. Ashoka's inscription also inform us about administration during Mauryan Empire and ethical rules of Buddhist religion of ancient India. Citation: poetry and text developed greatly during Gupta age. Harisen was writer of Samudragupta's Prayag Prashasti. Veersen Sabha was the writer of Prashasti of Chandragupta II of Udaygiri. Bana has praised Harsh in Harsh Charita. Description by foreign travelers. Many foreign tourists have been coming to India since centuries who have written their travelogue. These travelogues gives us information about Indian culture and life of people. Among such travelers, Greek ambassador Megasthenes, who lived in the court of Chandragupta Maurya, is very important. He has written an excellent book named Indica, from which we get information about the Mauryan age. Similarly, a book written by Greek sailor Ptolemy about geography gives us information about ports of India. Fahim, a Chinese traveler who came at the time of Chandragupta II, and the Chinese traveler Hunseng, who came at the time of Emperor Harshvardhan, have given a unique description of Indian social life, rulers, and culture of that time. Now the topic is traders' new route. In ancient time, India was quite well developed in trade and commerce and trading of various commodities with foreign countries. India's prosperity was at its peak due to trade. Trading was done through land route and sea route. Lothal was the major port of Harappan civilization. At Lothal, a carriage dockyard and warehouse have been found which provide us information about sea transport. The people of Lothal used to make various potteries, utensils and various kinds of jewelries. Trading was done of beads made from oysters and ivory. Indian spices and condiments, and precious stones were in great demand. Cotton, silk, and spices were exported to Europe via Central Asia. Through the international port like Khambat, Bharuch, Sopara, and Tamralipit, cotton textile, silk textile, spices, cinnamon, timber were exported to east and west part of world, while gold, silver and other items were imported. Many people used to travel from China to the remote areas on foot and on horseback. They used to carry silk cloth with them. The route they traveled on was known as Silk Route. The merchant of mainly China, India, Iran, Arabistan, Greek, and Rome were associated with these trade route. Ports of South India were known centers for exporting black pepper and other spices. Paintings in ancient India. Pictures are a special medium which express the emotion of human beings. At the same time, it portrays the actual situation of that time. In India, the oldest paintings have been found in the Neolithic era. More than 500 paintings of Neolithic age drawn by primitive man have been found in Madhya Pradesh from a place called Bhimbetka, which look lively even today. Other than these paintings of Ajanta Ellora, Bagh caves and Amravati, also associated with Indian culture, have been found in large numbers. Paintings of Ajanta Ellora are world famous, which depicts Buddha's Jatak stories and Buddha's sadhana. World famous paintings. Padmapani is the jewel of Indian culture, while Shiv temples of Ellora caves is a great sculpture carved out of a single massive rock. Now, sculptures and architecture of ancient India. Town planning seen in Harappan civilization is world renowned model of Indian architecture. Uniformity in town, baths, granaries, industrial units, and harvesting of rainwater, etc., are the structures associated with Harappan civilization, which are the best example of engineering of ancient India. This architecture includes caves architecture, temple architecture, and architecture of places. Caves architecture includes hills of Barabar, Nasik Hills, Ajanta Ellora, and Amravati. In sculptures, art of making idols was fully developed in India. Two art styles of idol art were prevalent in ancient India. Number one, Gandhar arts, which was a confluence of the Greek and Indian style. A number of artifacts have been found in Takshashila and Gandhar in Afghanistan in northern western India. Buddha statues were made in large number. Large statues of Buddha have been found in Bamiyan and Charsuda in this style. Number two, other style is completely Indian, which is known as Mathura art. In it, also firstly, Buddha statues were made. After that, idols of Hindu deities were also made in this style. Specimens of sculptures have also been found from Amravati, Ajanta, Nasik and Sarnath. Now student, I will explain you the further topic in my next video. Thank you.